seated.
Review hearing for arraignment. Please step into the room.
All right, this is the morning docket of the Lawrence County Municipal Court. Today's date is September 20th, 2024. Normally we would start with reviews, but we've got a case that we're going to take out of order. If we could have Mr. Steyer in the courtroom. And there are a couple of ladies here from University Hospital Columbus that are conducting some work, and I will turn the floor over to them briefly real quick so that they can address the gallery.
Yes, thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt. Good morning, everyone. My name is Zara. This is Natalie. We're researchers from HY Children's Hospital. We're here because we're conducting an ongoing research study focused on overdose prevention. So looking at different strategies to prevent the risk of overdose among people who currently or in the recent past have used any illicit substances. It's completely voluntary. It is confidential. Your participation is confidential, and any information you exchange with us is as well. And it is paid. If you enroll today, you will receive $25 paid directly to you on a card, and subsequently you will complete surveys from your phone or email, and those are also paid. Your completion of the study just entails completing some surveys with us. So again, you complete one today. After that, you wouldn't have to meet with us again. It'd be fully remote. If this might be something you're interested in, we will be in the back, just kind of where the holding cell is. So if you see us or you'd like to chat with us, please come by. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Rachel M. Helmer, case number CRA 24518.
This is State of Ohio versus Rachel M. Helmer, CRA 24518. Ms. Helmer is present with her attorney, Mr. Steyer. State's represented by Attorney Phil Keith. It's a very good report. Very good report, Mr. Steyer. What do you want?
Your Honor, we would continue to waive time constraints to allow this case to be monitored by the court in hopes that we can avoid the grand jury on this matter. So I don't know what kind of a time frame the court deems appropriate, but other than if I have a trial set that day or something of that nature, I'm available anytime upcoming soon.
How about we go out about a month, October 21st?
I actually do have a jury trial that day, Your Honor. I'm available the 18th or the 25th.
Do the 18th. We set for a preliminary hearing at 10 a.m.
Your Honor, if I may, I want to state on the state's behalf that even though we are encouraged that Ms. Helmer is going to be in treatment, which provider?
She's with Hometown Recovery.
We still have a victim in this matter that I think is rightfully upset about the whole thing. And while we may be willing to resolve the case here on the misdemeanor level, we're not going to let go of this. And eventually, we still reserve the right to take the case to the grand jury. So we want her to be in treatment and do well, and that could do nothing more than help her situation.
So noted. All right, we'll be back October 18th, 10 a.m. for preliminary hearing. It was a good report.
Good job. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, now we're going to go back and we're going to start the reviews. When you hear your name, you come up to your table on your right, and we will go through your case.
James Adams, Jeffrey Collins, Trevor Fitzpatrick, Stephen Fletcher, Karen Carlos, Ryan Johnson, Bradford Lusher.
First case is State of Ohio versus James G. Adkins, TRC 23-1765 ABC. Mr. Atkins here?
Yeah.
Okay, it's on Zoom.
Is that Mr. Adams?
Oh, James Adams.
James Adkins.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Adams, it looks like you're down to $125 owed, but you still have 30 hours of community service.
I've got community service done, I just haven't turned it in yet. I'm waiting on the lady from the Salvation Army to sign off for it.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, he was ordered to be here on 9/27, and he was not here for community service.
Okay. Well, I'm going to order. Excuse me, 8/27. Okay. Mr. Adams, you were ordered to do community service on August 27th. Is there a reason you didn't do it?
I live out of town, and I asked if I was able to do it without being throughout the court, and I was told yes, so that's where I went and did it through the Salvation Army right in Columbus.
Okay, who was it that told you that you could do that?
I called John, and John said that it should be fine, that I could bring in the paper stating that I did it through.
We do approve the Salvation Army, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we'll come back then for another review hearing. And Mr. Adams, I'm going to tell you, you need to get that paperwork and go ahead and get it in. We'll come back for a review hearing on October 21st at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. State of Ohio versus Jeffrey Collins, TRD 19-1082, CRA 19-304, CRB 15-605, and CRB 15-606. All right, Mr. Collins, on the 19-1082 case, you owe $300. On the CRA 19-304 case, you're down to $200 and still owe 12 hours of community service on that case. On the 15-606, you come all the way down to, you're down to $140 owed on that case to close that one out. I've not seen any new community service from you for a while. Is there any reason you haven't been able to?
I was unaware. The judge never said anything about community service. I just went today and she printed me out a printout. And I guess where he goes by the old case or something, she said that first or something like that. He never did say nothing about it. Because I did my community service, I thought, up until then, but I'll do it if I just didn't know I had to do it.
Well, you've got community service left to do, and anything that you do over top of the community service that you've already done goes towards paying off your fines, which is less money than you have to pay. We are offering, we're having cleanup days on October 5th and October 12th. And if you will talk to Mr. Cooper on those, there may be some additional incentives that would benefit you, so. We'll come back, Mr. Collins.
Your Honor, if I may, unless otherwise ordered by the judge, if he doesn't need community service, it goes towards the fines and costs of his oldest case first. So if he has mandatory on a newer case, it wouldn't go to that until after the old case is
It's
taken
closed
care
out.
of.
That's right.
So I was saying that he's never mentioned it before. So.
Well, you do have some community service on some newer cases as to what I indicated, so, I think you're down on your oldest case to $125, so
Yeah,
a
she's,
few days of community service will take care of that.
Your Honor, I was told by one of the clerks this morning that Mr. Collins was in, was going to pay something on his fines today.
yeah, I'm gonna pay, yeah, I'm gonna pay 20 on my fines today. I didn't know it was down to this low, so I'm gonna start paying these off, like, every month. I thought there was a lot more than that, so I'm gonna get these knocked out pretty quick so I can.
You get them done, you won't have to come back to court.
That's what I'm saying, so I have to come.
All right, we'll come back on October 21st for 9 a.m. Yeah, October 21st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Trevor Fitzpatrick, the state of Ohio versus Trevor Fitzpatrick, CRB 23-232, TRC 23-384, TRC 23-379. All right, Mr. You're down on these, on 23-232, you're down to $85 remaining. And I see you work some community service. 23-379. It looks like you've completed that, so you're down to $85 owed, and that's it.
Okay,
So-
I thought I had that paid off too. I was pretty sure I had everything paid off, but I'll get that paid off today.
Okay, you're gonna pay it today?
Yes, sir.
What I'll do is I'll set you a review for, just in case, for October 21st for review at 9 a.m. If you get that paid today and you get it verified with Mr. Cooper, then you won't need to appear, your case will be closed out.
Sounds good.
All right,
Thank you.
Stephen Fletcher, the state of Ohio versus Stephen Fletcher, CRB 23-705. Great report, Mr. Fletcher.
Thank you.
You have $1,294.36 worth of fines and costs. And there might be some restitution included in that number. But you're down to, you've worked 12 hours of community service since your last hearing. And so you're down to 18 hours left on community service. We'll set you a new review hearing for November 4th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At 9 a.m. Cameron Harless, so the statewide versus Cameron Harless, TRC 23-48. What's that? Mr. Harless, that's a really good report. You're down to $595 owed. You get that paid off and your case will be closed out at that point. You're also, you can work some of that off on community service. Again, if you've got time to do it, October 5th and October 12th. our two big days that we're looking for workers on, and we'll speak with Mr. Cooper about that. Again, there may be some additional incentive to make you want to do that.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll come back November 4th,
Thank you.
9 a.m.
Thank you.
Ryan D. Johnson. Yes. The State of Ohio versus Ryan D. Johnson, TRC 23-317 A and B. All right, I see Mr. Johnson, you made a payment on 9/9, and you've done some community service since your last hearing, last time we were here. Looks like you're down to $585 remaining, and as I told the last gentlemen, there's some additional incentive coming up for October 5th and 12th, if you can do that.
I'm going to pay 50 today, too.
Okay, I'll note your payment then, that you're going to do that. I'll also have you back then on November 4th. For review at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Bradford Lusher, the State of Ohio versus Bradford Lusher, TRC 21-3173. So you made an $80 payment, looks like on 17th. You did some community service, you're down to 24 hours of community service, and that's all you got left.
Your Honor, if I may, I believe he has to do the crime intervention program also.
Okay.
Well, I did go through that. I paid the money and everything through the hotel place down in Ironton. Yeah, I'm not really sure how the end result is, but yeah, I paid like $500 and went there, and I don't know.
You were there all weekend?
No, sir. I got there late, and well, he said they went out of business. I think they kind of scammed us. They was one of them fly-by-night deals, I think. I thought he dismissed it because he never brought it back up after we spoke about it.
Well, you've got 24 hours of community service for sure, and if you were ordered to do it, so you're still going to have to do that driver intervention program, and you get your community service done. But you're making progress. We'll be back on November 4th for review at 9 a.m.
Heidi Meadows, Ray Meredith, Richard Wright, Shelby Rodriguez, William Spalding, Bruce Ward, Thomas Jarvis.
Heidi Meadows?
Yes.
State of Ohio, which is Heidi Meadows, CRB 23-341.
Your Honor, she came and talked to me this morning. She does have community service to turn in, and she was asked to get it and bring it to me.
You know how many hours you have left to turn in?
I'm working my fine off. I have one more day to do. I got 3 days down.
Okay.
I'm gonna do one more and it'll be done.
Yep, that'll.
So I'll get it done Monday and get the paper down to him.
All right, I'll go ahead and set you a new review for November 4th.
Oh, it'll be done.
And if you have it done and Mr. Cooper has approved that, we'll pull it off the docket, your case will be closed.
Okay,
All right, thank you, Ms. Meadows.
thank you.
Ray Meredith. Ray W. Meredith. So State of Ohio versus Ray W. Meredith, CRB 2038. Time is now 9 a.m. Mr. Meredith is scheduled to be here for review at 9:20. So there'll be a bench warrant issue for failure to appear.
Your Honor, I don't know if you know going forward, no, he was not here for community service. service removal deed.
I see that. All right, well, it'll be a bench warrant issue, and we'll figure out who's picked up. Richard Wright.
Your Honor, Mr. Wright is extradited to Kentucky for a felony charge.
Okay. Yeah. Time is now 10:10 a.m. Mr. Wright is scheduled to be here, even though he may have a valid reason, but until such time as picked up, there'll be a bench warrant issue for failure to appear, and then once he returns, we can get that resolved.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Shelby Rodriguez. So the State of Ohio versus Shelby Rodriguez, CRB 23-396 and PRC 23-816.
Your Honor, if I might, he also has some community service and needs to turn it. But
And Mr. Rodriguez, have you have anything to pay towards your fine?
Not today, Your Honor. I did just get hired today, or 2 days ago, at structured scaffolding, and I start Monday, and I haven't made this much in a few years, and like I really have some big blessings coming. Like,
all right. Well, I'm going to give you a little more time based upon Mr. Cooper's statements to the court, because quite frankly, Mr. Rodriguez, after reviewing your file and seeing it, having Mr. Cooper not intervened and indicated that there's some community service done, you were likely headed to jail today.
really?
So I want you to understand this is serious.
I do. I've completed 3 days of community service, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, that's your saving grace for today. You're making progress, because prior to that, there was nothing done since March 1st of 2024.
Yeah, the last time I came in, I went to jail for not doing community service, and I'm not gonna let that happen again.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
Your Honor, we will need to bring the proof in. I do not have the proof yet.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, and I was just told that today. I didn't know they didn't contact and bring, I didn't know, yeah, I understand, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to set you back for November 4th at 9 a.m. And I put a note on the file that if you don't have your community service turned in, we don't have proof of it, and if nothing indicating it's been done, then you're probably going to be remanded in custody. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll see you back November 4th. William Spalding. So State of Ohio versus William Spalding, CRB 23-512. All right, Mr. Spalding looks like you still have 30 hours of community service to do. And you owe all of your fines. Is there something that you want to see? You got something to hand?
This was an assessment that I had done that they asked me to bring in.
I will include that in your file. Is there a reason that you haven't paid anything on your fines or done any of your community
How much
service?
do I owe, Your Honor?
$495.
$495?
And 30 hours of community service.
Okay, I was unaware that I owed that much, but I draw a disability check the third of each month. I can pay the majority of the fine the end of next week, and then I'll make arrangements for community service. I'll call the court first of the week.
All right, I'll give you some more time. November 4th, 9 a.m.
Okay.
Back for another review hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I want to see some progress.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bruce Ward. It's the State of Ohio versus Bruce Ward, CRB 15268 CRB 11, 435, CRB 10, 80, CRB 10, 1087. All right. Mr. Ward, on the 15268 case, you still have 52 hours of community service left and $643 owed. On the 11-435 case, you owe $1,002 on it. And on the CRB 10-1087 case, I see you made a payment in August, there was no new community service done on it. You finished your community service and you only owe $63 on the old case. On the oldest case, the 10-1087. Was there a reason you haven't made any payments or done any community service?
Yes, sir. I was in prison.
Okay.
My paperwork is there, my release papers. I just got out August the 8th.
Okay.
I've got some, I talked to one of the gentlemen when I come in August. The closest thing I have to me is a fire department, and they're not real big on community service. The only way I've got getting around right now is walking. My car's broke down, and I've got a payment today.
Okay.
But yeah, I live in a little town called Bidwell, Ohio, out back in out west.
I know where Bidwell is. All right, Mr. Ward, I'm gonna give you some more time. It's not a good reason, but it's a legally sufficient reason. Obviously, you can't complete things if you're in prison, if you're incarcerated. So, November 4th, 9 a.m. for another review hearing. If you can figure out a way to get the community service done. I understand that, you know, you're kind of on hard times right now, and you're kind of working yourself out of the hole, but the obligations that you've created don't stop because of that.
Yes, sir.
We just want to see some progress, okay?
Yes, sir.
Not pile it on, because I understand where you're at right now, but we just need to see some progress. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Ward, November 4th, 9 a.m., we'll be back for a review here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thomas Jarvis. The state of Ohio, this is Thomas Jarvis, Pearson 23972, A and B. See, you made a payment today. You still have 42 hours of community service remaining, and you owe $265 is what's remaining.
Yes, sir.
I do see that you made some progress. You made a payment in August, you made a payment in September. But we need to get you in and get you start working on some of the community service. I don't know if you heard me mention earlier, but August 5th and August 12th are the cleanup days.
Okay.
Speaking to Mr. Cooper, there may be an opportunity there for you to have a little extra incentive to do that. And through those days, it'll greatly benefit you going forward.
Okay. I should be able to make it in on the 12th. That's when I was planning on coming back for community service. Just with work right now, it's hard for me to get my weekends down here. So.
All right. I'm going to set you back on November the 8th for review at 9 a.m.
Alrighty. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, next group in the cases that we're going to call are the arraignments. If this is your first appearance on a case, you'll need to come in the courtroom if you've got an arraignment.
Arraignment, warrant, Mr. Hearing, courtroom now.
Like before, if you hear your name called, you're going to come up to the table on the right. We're going to go through the charge with you, and I'm going to go ahead and go through your rights, some of the rights you have before the court. You have the right to remain silent. We are recording everything, and so if you say something could be detrimental to you, it is recorded, and the state of Ohio and Mr. Heald, who's sitting there at the other table, can use that against you. You have the right to have reasonable bonds set on your behalf. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court can appoint one for you, and you have the right to make the state prove each and every element of the charge or charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Once you come up, I'll go through the charge with you, and I'm going to ask you for a plea. You can either enter a guilty, a not guilty, or a no contest plea. If you enter a guilty plea, you're admitting the allegations in the complaint are true. If you enter a not guilty plea, you are denying the allegations are true at this time. If you enter a no contest plea, you're not denying the allegations, you're not admitting the allegations, but you're also not contesting the allegations that are set forth. And if I think the state would have enough evidence, I can find you guilty. If you are unsure of what you should do, you should enter a not guilty plea. That preserves all your rights before the court. Call this case.
State of Ohio versus Juan Pablo Becerra, case number TRD 24-1861 A and B. Juan Pablo Becerra.
Actually, Mr. Cooper, I'm going to have Mr. Cooper, I'm going to have he and his interpreter come up because I'm going to have to go over that with them. So if you want to have them come up. Before we call it, you're going to be interpreting for him. Okay. So I need to go over what I just said with him. So first, he has a right to enter a plea, guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Guilty means he's admitting the violation. Guilty, I'm make sure he understands that. Not guilty means he's denying the violation. And he can enter a no contest plea, which means he's not admitting it, but he's not denying the factual circumstances, and I can find him guilty. Okay, so and we go through his rights. He has the right to remain silent. He has the right to a reasonable bond, and none of these cases are jailable, so he could go to jail in these cases. So I'm going to go ahead and call the case and kind of go through it. Okay, well, let me go ahead and call it. It's the State of Ohio versus Juan Pablo R. Becerra, here at B 1861 A and B. This case was originally set in traffic court, and Mr. Becerra wasn't there that day, but he's here today, so we're going to go ahead and move that. Here's his charges. On or about September 2nd, it's alleged that in Fayette Township, that he operated a motor vehicle while speeding, and it's alleged 74 miles per hour and 55 mile per hour zone. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4511.21B. you. That's a minor misdemeanor. The maximum penalty involved is $150 fine and court costs. Yeah, that's the maximum. He's also charged with operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. And that's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4510.12. Okay, how does he wish to plead on the two charges?
This is just getting into court.
Plead guilty? Okay. I will accept his guilty plea on both charges. I'll enter a guilty finding on the You have the no LGA case? Okay. Okay. On the no operators, it'll be a $50 fine. And court costs. On the speeding, it'll be a $57 fine. And no court costs. Then we go see the clerk. We're out of the courtroom to the right, where he went this morning, and they'll be able to take care of it. Okay? Thank you.
State of Ohio versus David B. Caldwell, case number TRD 24-1948,
The State of Ohio versus David B. Caldwell, TRD 24-1948. Mr. Caldwell, it's alleged that on or about September 16th, 2024, in London Township, that you were operating a motor vehicle on a suspended driver's license. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4510.14. That is a first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. It's also alleged that you are operating the motor vehicle while using a prohibited electronic device. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4511.204. How do you wish to plead?
Your Honor, being that it's a jailable offense, I would request a public defender on the driving on a suspended, and I'll plead guilty now.
Well, if we'll hold off on that portion of it. I'm going to take that as a not guilty plea.
Yeah, not guilty.
Okay. So I will accept your not guilty plea.
How do I apply for a public defender?
We're going to get to that next. I'll let you sign a $1,000 signature bond. Are you working presently?
Yes.
Okay. Are you paid hourly?
Yes.
What do you make per hour?
$9.50.
Okay. How many hours a week do you get?
40.
You're going to be eligible. I will appoint Attorney Sean Stratton to represent you.
Okay. Hey, are you Sean? David Caldwell, I just entered not guilty.
Okay.
Mr. Stratton, I've appointed you to represent Mr. Caldwell. It's a first-degree misdemeanor, driving under suspension, and a prohibited use of electronic device.
Okay.
We've entered a not guilty plea. He's got a $1,000 signature bond. How far out would you like to go, Mr. Stratton?
Oh, he took it, okay.
Yeah.
October, Your Honor.
Okay. I figure this one, there probably isn't a great need to come back quickly, so let's go out. How's your calendar look on October 21st?
Is that a Friday, Your Honor?
That's a Monday. Oh, you want Friday?
Yeah,
correct?
can we get a Friday?
Okay. How about October 25th?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. I'll set a pretrial for October 25th at 10 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna walk out with you here. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Kenny M. Ingalls, case number CRB 24546. Kenny M. Ingalls. Kenny M. Ingalls.
So the State of Ohio versus Kenny M. Ingalls, CRB 24546. Time is now 10:31 a.m. Mr. Ingalls was cited to be here this morning at 9 a.m. So there will be a failure to appear. KB is issued. Mr. Sowers, are you just here on a couple of bond forfeitures? We'll go ahead and call those. We'll go ahead and call those up so that way you can proceed with your day.
State of Ohio versus Kimberly D. Trout, case number CRB 24252. Mr. Scott's case, he's here.
We could have Mr. Scott in the courtroom. This is State of Ohio versus Kimberly D. Trout, CRB 24252. And this matter is set for a bond forfeiture today. Mr. Howard.
Your Honor, she is in jail in Boyd County Detention Center. She was in the Western Regional Jail. I'd placed a holder on her for Ohio while she was in Western Regional, but Boyd County was next in line. Boyd County was next in line, and they took possession of her. She has a pending case in Wayne County as well that she's posted a property bond on. Ohio, I checked with Boyd County Detention Center. We do have our holder on her, and she has another holder to go back to West Virginia as well. So where we fall into the line of getting her, I'm not sure, but I know we are in line.
Okay. Mr. Scott, this is State of Ohio versus Kimberly Trout. It appears that there was a failure to appear back in July. This matter is just set for a bond forfeiture. I don't know that you particularly have any input into the bond forfeiture aspect of it, but you're on the case, so I wanted to at least have you in the courtroom.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you. This one was set for sentencing a couple of months ago, as you mentioned. We had it worked out, and she fell off the face of the earth. I've tried to make contact with her. I haven't had any success with that.
I think Mr. Sowers has a pretty good handle on where she's at and what's going on. It's just a matter of where we fall in the warrant lines. So I'm assuming, Mr. Sowers, you'd like some more time?
I would, Your Honor.
How much more would you like?
Well, I know she goes back to court in Boyd County the end of this month. At least 30 days, maybe 60. Give it some time to kind of play out and see where we're going to fall in line.
Let's go out to November 22nd for a bond forfeiture. Hopefully we'll have some answers by then.
Yeah, we should have a clearer picture of what's going on by then.
Thank you, Mr. Sowers. Thank you, Mr. Scott.
State of Ohio versus Derek Oxshire, case number CRB 2252A and B. It's Mr. Tyler Smith's case.
Your Honor, Mr. Oxshire, I have been in contact with him, and he is supposedly on his way here now from Gallipolis. I told him in certain terms that this was his last opportunity to come on his own and clear this up. After today, I will be going to get him. So he says he is on his way. We've been texting since I've been sitting in the courtroom. So however long it takes to get from Galplis to here, I think we should have a better understanding of whether he's coming or not.
He did contact my office yesterday and said that he was going to be here, so evidently he's not here yet. So, well, I guess hopefully he shows up in the next little bit.
Do you want to recall this, or would you rather just set it out for a new bond forfeiture if he appears today?
Then we can put him back on the docket.
Let's put him back on the docket.
Sure, yes.
That's fine.
Okay. That's what we'll do then. This one I'll go out a little, or I won't go out quite as far.
I'll set for a bond forfeiture. I haven't made any notes on it.
We'll do October 21st for a bond forfeiture, and if he shows up here voluntarily today, we can put him back on the docket. Mr. Towers, if he shows up here today, are you going to request off the bond, or are you going to...
Your Honor, I think he's indicated he'd like to resolve this case today. He's not even been sentenced for it. He's got a second-degree misdemeanor or a fourth-degree misdemeanor. So it may not become an issue, but if he brings himself to court and I don't have to go get him, then I'm not opposed to staying on the bond if they choose to go that route.
Okay, that was going to be my question. All right, so if he shows, we'll recall this. If not, we'll set this, it's going to be set for a bond forfeiture October 21st.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Sowers. Thank you, Mr. Snow.
Yeah.
State of Ohio versus Amber Curd, case number CRB 11-1242.
So the state of Ohio versus Amber Curd, CRB 11-1242. Ms. Curd is not present, and this looks like this was an arraignment on a failure to appear on August 13th of 2012. It looks like.
Yes,
Ms. Curd, do you admit or deny that you failed to appear?
I admit. I apologize. I didn't even know that, or it would have been taken care of.
Okay. How'd you find out you had a warrant?
I was in a car wreck the other day, and they said I had one.
Well, you were fortunate that they didn't arrest you.
Yes.
It looks like this was for a review hearing. You don't owe any more money on the case, but it looks like you have 30 hours of community service.
Yes.
So here's what I'll do. I'll recall the warrant since you appeared voluntarily. I'll put you back on the review docket for November 22nd. Are you working presently?
Yes.
Okay. Need you to get that community service knocked out?
I will.
If you can, again, I don't know if you were in the courtroom when this was mentioned during the reviews, but October 5th and October 12th, good days or cleanup days, and there may be some additional incentive that would make it worth your while to be there for both of those days.
Okay.
So if you want to speak to Mr. Cooper about that, he can fill you in.
She's already now spoke to me, Your Honor.
Okay, great. So back November 22nd at 9 a.m. If you have all your community service done, then you do not have to appear.
Okay.
But you got to verify with Mr. Cooper that it's all done, that it's turned in. And then at that point, if it's all done, it's turned in, we'll close your case out and you won't have to be back. If you do not have it done, you have to appear that day, and we'll see if you made some progress.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do any community service over in Huntington? That's where I live.
Mr. Cooper will work with you
Okay.
with that.
I thank you. I appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jaron R. Edgington, case number TRC 231190.
So the State of Ohio versus Jaron R. Edgington, TRC 231190. And Mr. Edgington, it looks like, excuse me, you missed a review hearing on September 16th, 2024. It's alleged. Do you admit or deny that you failed to appear?
Not guilty.
So you're indicating that you did appear at that hearing?
Wait, what? I'm confused. I didn't know if that was a plea or what.
So you are, it's alleged that on September 16th, 2024, that you didn't appear for your review hearing at 9 a.m. in this court.
Oh, no contest then.
Okay. Well, are you admitting or denying that you failed to appear?
How do I get a public defender?
Well, technically, I don't know that you really need one on this case, but I can tell you what I'm inclined to do. If you're admitting that you failed to appear, I'm inclined to call the warrant and then just review your case and give you another day.
How do I do? I know nothing about any of this.
Okay. Well, then I will, are you working currently?
I'm doing like odd jobs, like small, but I'm making consistent money and I have a couple interviews this week.
All right. How much are you paid weekly?
300, sometimes 500, it depends. But I have another court case where because I live like an hour and so away, and I have a court there. That's why I missed. I got my court dates mixed up.
Here's what I'm going to do. To qualify, I will appoint Mr. Steyer to represent you, and he may want to recall this case here just a few minutes after he speaks with you. Mr. Steyer, if you could approach. This is an alleged failure to appear for a hearing. I've already indicated in the record that I'm inclined, if he is, to call the warrant and give him a date. I don't know if he is. So that's why I figured you'll probably want to call the case. So. All right. We're going to call this case later in the docket once you've had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Steyer, and then we'll determine where you go from here.
State of Ohio versus Zoe Lee, case number CRP 24185.
Your Honor, that's the one Mr. Smith just presented an entry continuing the case. It's my understanding that Ms. Lee needs more time to come up with the money to pay the costs.
I have the entry here, and I'm going to go ahead and approve that.
She's in there. I was out looking for her. I'm sorry.
I've got your entry, Mr. Smith.
Yes,
I've
Judge.
approved that entry.
Okay, thank you. They were each to pay costs. She thought it was just one cost. I think the other cost's been paid. She will pay the costs. October 30th, if you pay by then, you have to show up. So that's your next hearing at 10 o'clock.
All right, October 30th at 10 a.m. It's going to be dismissed if the costs are paid. And Ms. Lee, same as last time, if the costs are paid, prior to that, you don't have to appeal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
State of Ohio versus Jason L. Turner, case number CRA 24466. Jason L. Turner.
This is case number CRA 24466. This is State of Ohio versus Jason L. Turner.
Jason Turner.
Mr. Turner, have you seen a copy of your charges? Have you received a copy of your charges?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Turner, it's alleged that on or about July 16th, 2024, you did knowingly obtain, possess, or use a controlled substance or controlled substance analog and said drug involved in a compound mixture, preparation, or substance included in Schedule 1 or 2, to wit methamphetamine. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 292511 AC1C of the Ohio Revised Code. Aggravated possession of drugs, felony 5. Felonies of the 5th degree carry a maximum penalty of up to 12 months in prison and a $2,500 fine. Now, normally at this point, I would be asking if you wanted an attorney appointed, but my understanding is from speaking with Mr. Heald this morning and Megan from QRT that you are willing to enter the QRT program.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Heald?
We don't oppose that, Your Honor.
All right. So you're asking then Mr. Heald that this would be knowledge QRT?
That's correct, Your Honor. Could you give me the case number?
Yes, it's CRA 24466.
Okay.
All right, on the request of the state of Ohio, this matter will be knowledge to QRT with the right to refile if Mr. Turner is not successful.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Turner. Do well in the program, and do well when this doesn't come back to court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Teresa Patton, case number CRB 18485. Teresa Patton.
The state of Ohio versus Teresa Patton, CRB 18485. Ms. Patton is present. All right. Ms. Patton, it looks like that it's alleged that on or about December 5th of 2022, you have failed to appear for a pretrial. We have Mr. Roger Smith for his case. Just caught him in time.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Smith, this is Teresa Patton, and you would represent her.
Yes.
Way back.
In a minute, yeah.
It's alleged that on or about December 5th of 2022, she failed to appear for a pretrial. She is presently in OVP Health and appears that all is going well so far.
Yes.
Per the most recent report we have. And does she admit or deny that she failed to appear?
She does admit, Judge, yes, sir.
All right. I will accept the admission, we'll recall the warrant. When would you like to come back, Mr. Smith?
Judge, I know I'm here the 30th. I might have something sooner. I know the middle of October I'm going to be out, but let me see. I could do, I've got September 30th. That might be too soon. I've got October 4th, October 11th.
How about the 18th?
Yeah, she'll complete OVP on the 17th of October, so.
I could do the 25th. I will be out. That's part of the October I'll be gone, but I will be here the 25th.
Let's do October 25th.
Okay, I can do that.
And that would be for a pretrial because this case hasn't been resolved yet.
What's the case number, Your Honor?
CRB 18485. All right.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
The October 25th, 10 a.m.
No, what's the case
State of
number?
Ohio versus William A. Hatfield.
CRB 18485.
Okay. The 18 kind of copy.
State of Ohio versus William A. Hatfield, case number CRB 24608.
This is State of Ohio versus William Hatfield, CRB 24608. Mr. Hatfield is alleged that on or about September 18th, 2024, he did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to a Jessica Hatfield, family or household member. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 2919.25A of the Ohio Revised Code, domestic violence, misdemeanor of the first degree. Misdemeanors of the first degree carry a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Not guilty, sir.
All right, I'll accept your not guilty plea. Do you wish to be considered for court-appointed counsel?
Yes, sir.
Are you working presently?
I do odd jobs for my mom and dad's landlord.
Okay. Are you paid hourly or weekly?
Hourly.
How much do you usually make per week?
Per week, probably about 400.
Okay, you qualify. So I will appoint attorney Luke Steyer to represent you.
Let's see paperwork for a second. Thank you.
Mr. Hill, is there request for protection order or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have something to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there some way that you can go, Mr. Hatfield?
Yes, sir.
And I want you to understand that the protection order is a no contact order. That means you can't either directly or indirectly, I mean through the internet, text message, or any sort of have any contact, even if she were messaging you first. It does not go both ways.
Okay.
So if there is or even if she asks you to come over, you cannot while this protection order is in effect.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Steyer, when would you like to come back?
Just 1 second, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Be looking at my calendar. But Mondays or Fridays better for you? Does it matter?
Monday.
Mondays are better, so I would ask if we could come back on the 7th.
All right. On this case, I'm going to allow him, he's already got a bond up through Mr. Sowers. Okay. So we're back October 7th at 10 a.m. for pretrial.
Your Honor, if I may, the adult parole authority contacted me yesterday. I'm going to have to place him under arrest under their authority.
All right. Well, you'll be remanded in at least until such time as the adult parole.
Oh, wait, let's,
determines what they're going to do or how they're going to approach it.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Steyer.
State of Ohio recalls Jaron Edgington, case number TRC 231190.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Jaron R. Edgington, TRC 231190. Mr. Edgington's present with attorney Mr. Steyer, and we'll be calling this matter.
Your Honor, based on discussions with Mr. Edgington, we are prepared to enter an admission of failure to appear at this time.
All right, I'll accept his admission, and we'll recall any warrants that may be out there. It looks like you've done some community service since the last time you were ordered to be here. You've still got 24 hours of community service left. Looks like you paid down your fines to $305, so you're making some progress, Mr. Edgington. We'll be back for review.
Write this down.
At 9 a.m. on November the 4th. And Mr. Edgington, if you can make it up on October the 5th or October the 12th for community service those days. There's some additional incentives that are going to be offered to do those. So if you can make it up here for October 5th or 12th, it would help you be able to get your case resolved a lot quicker.
That's the cleanup.
Is it double?
I'll be here that day.
Double hours, Your Honor.
It hasn't been, I don't think formally approved yet, but I'm anticipating that's what's going to happen.
All right.
I'll be up here then.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Thanks, Mr. Steyer.
State of Ohio versus Nicholas Chapman, case number CRB 24529.
So the State of Ohio versus Nick Chapman, CRB 24529, or Nicholas Chapman. This is Nick on the folder. Mr. Chapman, have you had an opportunity to review or see, have you seen your charges?
It's the only one I know of, the cattle at large.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chapman, it's alleged that on or about July 13th through the 29th of 2024 in Union Township, that you were the owner or keeper of dogs, horses, mules, cattle, sheep, goats, swine, geese, and did permit them to run at large in the public roadway or unenclosed land, or cause such animals to be hurt, kept, or detained for the purpose of grazing on premises other than those owned or lawfully occupied by the owner of such animals. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 951.02, animals running at large. That's a 4th degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty for a 4th degree misdemeanor is 30 days in jail and a $250 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Not guilty.
All right, I accept your not guilty plea. Do you wish to be considered for appointed counsel?
I have my own counsel. I'm in arrangement on that now.
Okay, do you, who do you anticipate you're going to be hiring?
Huh?
Who do you anticipate your counsel is in this case?
My counsel is going to be Michael Ackerman. He is right now in a personal matter with his dad at a nursing home, so he couldn't be here today.
Once he files in, we'll note that Mr. Ackerman's going to be representing you in the matter. I'll allow you to sign a $1,000 signature bond. Mr. Cooper's going to come up and show you where to sign for that. On that.
Your Honor, it's my turn to speak. Two separate charges. I don't know whether you arraigned him on two separate charges or not. There's one from July the 30th, 24 CRB 529, in addition to the one 490 case.
I only have the 529 case.
Okay, well there's 24 CRB 490 also.
It's only got the 529.
Okay, 529 is the July 13th through the 29th. That's the one you arraigned him on.
Yes.
Okay, there's also 24 CRB
I have it up there on the screen, I can go find the file.
490,
Yeah.
and that's alleged to have occurred on July the 30th.
All right, Mr. Chapman, if you'll have a seat in the back, we've got to arraign you on one more charge. Apparently there's a separate second charge on that from a different date, so we've got to go and have a...
I've already received one.
Well, they'll, I believe, give it to you, and we'll arraign you on that one as well. So you just have a seat in the back, we'll recall here in just a second.
State of Ohio versus Amy Slaughter, case number CRB 24531.
This is State of Ohio versus Amy Slaughter, CRB 24531. Ms. Slaughter, have you received a copy of your charges?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Slaughter, it's alleged that on or about August 10th in Perry Township, you did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to AC. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 290313A of the Ohio Revised Code. That's assault. It's a first-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Not guilty.
I will accept your not guilty plea. Do you wish to be considered for appointed counsel?
Yes.
Okay, are you working?
I do.
All right, how much, are you paid hourly?
Yes.
How much are you paid per hour?
$11.
All right, do you get 40 hours a week?
I don't.
Okay, how many hours a week do you get?
Probably about 25.
You qualify for counsel. I will appoint Attorney Roger Smith. All right, Mr. Smith, this is
Yes,
Amy
sir.
Slaughter. It's an alleged assault. We've entered a not guilty plea.
Thank you.
Mr. Gill, is there a request for protection order?
Yes, Your Honor, we have one here.
The initial date, please. It's a minor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
All right, Ms. Slaughter, as a I'm going to let you sign a $1,000 signature bond. And you understand that you can't have any contact either directly or indirectly with the minor in this matter?
Yes.
Okay, so you have somewhere to go where you won't be around her or him?
Yes.
All right.
Saturday, that's your promise to appear at the next hearing, that's your signature. You don't have to pay unless you don't show up. As long as you show up.
And when would you like to come back, Mr. Smith?
Judge, I'm here October 4th, 11th, or 25th.
Let's do the 11th. For pre-trial at 10 a.m.
That'll give me time to file discovery and meet with my client, Judge. Thank you.
Has she signed her signature bond?
Yes, right now, I'll bring it forward, Judge.
Thank you. All right, not guilty pleas entered. We'll be back October 11th at 10 a.m.
State of Ohio versus Tammy Short, case number CRB 24607.
The State of Ohio versus Tammy Short, CRB 24607. Ms. Short, have you seen a copy of your charges?
No.
Mr. Cooper's going to hand you a copy of your charges. Ms. Short, it's alleged that on or about September 16th, 2024, in Fayette Township, you did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to Philip Walton, Casad, violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 290313A, assault to misdemeanor of the first degree. Misdemeanors of the first degree carry a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. How do you wish to put it?
Not guilty.
I'll accept your not guilty plea. You wish to be considered for appointed counsel?
Yes.
Are you working currently?
Yes.
Are you paid hourly?
Yes.
How much you paid per hour?
$10.95.
How many hours a week do you get?
40.
You're going to qualify for appointed counsel. I'll appoint Attorney Justice Scott.
Mr. Scott?
Better get me to the copy.
Mr. Scott, this is Tammy Short. It's an M1 assault.
All right.
Not guilty plea has been entered. Is there going to be a request for protection order by the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Short, I'll let you sign a $1,000. Oh, I see bond and salaries. Okay. Your bond will continue There's going to be a no contact order. You're not allowed to have any contact either directly or indirectly with Mr. Philip Walton Kazad. Do you have someplace you can go? other than
Yes.
The house? Okay. You understand that you can't have any contact?
Yes.
Excellent.
I just have a question.
You
I
want to
rent,
ask your attorney?
I rent the house. The house, everything in the house is in my name.
Okay. So do you need to get stuff out of that house temporarily?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Judge, can we set a time for her to come get some items out of the house?
I mean, I don't personally have a problem with it if you want to work with the state, for her to be able to get her belongings, but.
He said the sheriff's office for Philippines is supposed to be at the house.
Okay, we'll take care of that. Right now, they're granting that, so you cannot go there right now. So we gotta take care of on the back end, like, try and get you in to get your stuff, some stuff, so you have something to live off of for a bit.
Because I pay all the bills there, I pay the rent, I pay everything.
Well, I'll stop paying it right now.
But I can't stop paying my rent and stuff and my bills because everything's in my name.
Well, we'll have to get that taken care of, but right now, you can't go in there. You can't live there right now because of that.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Scott, when would you like to come back?
Judge, I don't have my calendar with me. If you want to set it, I'll file something
Just be on a
appropriately.
Friday. On a Friday, because I work Monday through Thursday.
I work Monday through Friday, too. So we'll have to find a schedule I can be here. So I assume you don't want to wait too long on this.
No.
All right, how far out would you like to go, Mr. Scott?
Judge, you want to do 2 weeks? I got jury trials next week.
Okay. Let's see.
No, I'm sure.
Okay. We can have one more pre-trial on it. So we'll come back October 4th for pre-trial activity.
That may change. I'll get a hold of you. You can have a seat out front, but you have to second.
Out here.
Yeah, it's not out. Oh, we have a second. Thank you, Judge.
State of Ohio recalls Nicholas Chapman, case number CRB 24490 and CRB 24529.
You are Nicholas Chapman? You are Nicholas Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mr. Chapman, we've already arraigned you on CRB 24529. And this is CRB 24490, but we didn't completely get through the arraignment. So both cases are before the court now. On the 490 case, Mr. Chapman, did you receive they gave you a copy of your charge?
Right here, yes.
Okay. Mr. Chapman, it's alleged in CRB 24490 that on or about July 30th, 2024, in Union Township, that you being the owner or keeper of horses, mules, cattle, sheep, goats, swine, or geese, did permit them to run at large in the public, road, highway, street, or alley, or upon unenclosed land, or cause such animals to be herded, kept, or detained for the purpose of grazing on premises other than those owned or lawfully occupied by the owner or keeper of such animals. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 951.02. Animals running at large, misdemeanor in the 4th degree. Maximum penalty, 30 days in jail, $250 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Not guilty.
Okay. I'll accept your not guilty plea. All right. I'll set you also a $1,000 OR bond on the 490 case. Or actually, the bond from 529 will be continued. It'll be a $1,000 OR bond on both cases. That way you don't have to sign a new one. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to put this on in 2 weeks where this is where it's an M4. So we're going to set both of these matters for October 4th. for a pretrial at 10 a.m. And if your attorney files in and they need to move that date, stay in contact with your attorney, and they can do so. We'll speak with Mr. Hill. Otherwise, whether you have an attorney here or you don't, we'll be back October 4th at 10 a.m. if it hasn't been moved. Okay?
October the 4th, 10 a.m.?
October 4th, 10 a.m.
Okay.
And Your Honor, if I may just add that it will be a lot easier to resolve this if there aren't any other reasons for us to file further charges. We've got 2 occasions in which we believe we can prove that this happened, and we don't want there to be any more. So.
All right. Well, if you noted for the record, Mr. Chapman will see you back October 4th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Victoria Wright, case number CRB 24611.
The State of Ohio versus Victoria Wright, CRB 24611.
This is a cross-filing, Your Honor.
Okay.
Colby Brown.
State of Ohio versus Colby Brown, case number CRB 24612.
Okay. I'll start with Ms. Wright. Ms. Wright, Mr. Cooper handed you a copy of the charges a few moments ago. Ms. Wright, it's alleged that on or about September 19th, 2024, you did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to Colby Brown, a family or household member, in violation of Ohio Revised Code 2919.25A, domestic violence. It's a misdemeanor of the first degree. Maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, accept your not guilty plea. Do you wish to be considered for appointed counsel?
Yes.
You're working presently?
Yes.
You paid hourly?
I'm a tipped employee.
Okay. What do you typically bring home on an average a week?
Like a week, I'd say like 500.
And do you have any dependents?
No.
Okay. You're right on the border. I'm going to find that you qualify. I will appoint attorney Roger Smith, if he's still here. Here to the left. Okay. I will appoint attorney Sean Stratton. Mr. Stratton, this is an M1 domestic violence. And I'm going to go ahead and arraign Ms. Brown. So there's a State of Ohio versus Colby Brown, CRB 24612. Ms. Brown, did you receive a copy of your charge? Ms. Brown, it's alleged that on or about September 19th, 2024, in Fayette Township, you did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to Victoria Wright, family or household member. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 2919.25A, domestic violence, misdemeanor of the first degree. Maximum penalty, 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. How do you wish to plead?
Not guilty.
We'll accept your not guilty plea. You wish to be considered for appointed, you've already got a bond up, it looks like with Mr. Savage as well, so it's both of, no bond issue. Mr. Hill, since you have both individuals here, or excuse me, sorry, Ms. Brown, do you wish to be considered for appointed counsel?
Yes.
Are you working?
Part-time, and I'm a full-time student.
Okay. Part-time, are you paid hourly?
Yes.
How much do you get per hour?
22.
How many hours a week do you typically get?
Roughly 24.
All right, you're going to qualify as well. Do you have any dependents?
No.
Okay. I think you still qualify. So I'll appoint Attorney Tyler Smith to represent you. And Mr. Gilda, you've got both individuals here, is there going to be a protection order requested for either?
Well, we would want to find out from them whether they want to have protection orders.
I'm fine with that.
You're fine with that too?
Yes.
Yeah, she's fine with that one too, Your Honor.
Okay, there's no protection order been requested. I'd like to keep these together. Mr. Strapp, Mr. Smith, how far, or when would you like to come back?
October, Your Honor, would be the best for me.
Okay.
On Monday
Mr.
or
Smith?
Friday.
Your Honor, I'm fine any Monday or Friday, October.
All right, Mr. Stratton's going to be here on Friday, so I'll have to come back on Friday. For these.
Oh, no, I'm here on Monday and Friday, Your Honor. I just have some stuff.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were
Yeah,
here on
yeah.
Friday.
Could we do October 4th, Your Honor?
That one's a little crowded, if there's a
Okay.
way we can maybe go, or how about the 11th?
Fine.
Yes, that's fine with me, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll set both of these for pretrial, October 11th at 10 a.m. No protection orders requested, and we'll see the parties back at that time.
All right.
Bond is continued on both cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's all the arraignments we have right now. We're getting ready to start some pre-trials. You got pre-trials coming forward.
State of Ohio versus Charles M. Frazier, case number TRC 241625, A and B.
It's in the file, I saw subpoenas, precedents.
Okay. This is State of Ohio versus Charles M. Frazier, TRC 241625, A and B. Mr. Frazier had hired Mr. Drew, Attorney Drew, to represent him in the matter, and Mr. Drew had sent up a continuance request, and Mr. Heald had indicated that he was fine with continuance, but the timing of it, he wanted to make sure that the time was put on record. So I'll find out that at the request of defense counsel that this matter will be continued until October 11th. And that'll be for a pretrial at 10 a.m. And I'll find that time is told against the defendant in this matter.
State of Ohio versus Wesley Earls, case number CRA 24276, CRB 24277, CRB 2497, CRB 2488, A and B. Mr. Steyer's case.
So the State of Ohio versus Wesley Earls, CRA 24276, CRB 24277, CRB 2497, CRB 2488. You may. This is Mr. Steyer's case. He's present, and it does not appear that Mr. Earls is with him.
He is compliant with our outpatient office.
Your Honor, we had court in front of Judge Finley Wednesday. Mr. Earls was there. He's been good about keeping in touch with me during all this, so I think there's just been a misunderstanding that's caused his failure to appear today. So I would ask to continue this case a week, and I'll try to get in touch with him and tell him he needs to get in here.
It was
Also,
a good report, I'll note for the record.
Apology.
It was a good report, I'll note for the record.
Right. Also, mechanically, I have a suggestion of incompetency and an NGRI pending at this time, so really the case is stayed at this point anyway. No evaluation was ever completed in connection to the NGRI and suggestion of competency in this matter. However, I also filed one in front of Judge Finley, and a report has been generated that leaves me feeling comfortable in moving to withdraw the NGRI plea and instate a plea of not guilty, and withdraw the suggestion of competency. If you'd like to rule on that, you can. If you want to wait to have him here and let Judge Capper rule on that, that's fine too. But in any case, I said a week, but really a day that's convenient to the court. I'm just saying I'm not asking for a long time.
Okay. Mr. Hill, any objection?
We don't object to that.
Okay. I'll note that it's a good report for the record, and that he has seemingly, what counsel's indicating, been compliant in the reports well with dealing with matters in common pleas as well. So is there a specific date in October you'd like to come back, Mr. Steyer?
Go that day to the 4th if we could.
Okay. He's set for a pre-trial on October 4th, 10 a.m. And I'd rather have him here. I feel comfortable ruling on it.
Right.
I'd rather have him here.
No, that's fair.
Make that motion and then we make a ruling.
That's fair.
All right.
Thank you.
So we rescheduled the plan so you can reach out to him and let him know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Victoria Wright, case number CRB 24611, and State of Ohio versus Courtney Brown, case number CRB 24612.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Victoria Wright, CRB 24611. Ms. Wright is present with her attorney, Mr. Stratton, and this is also CRB 24612, State of Ohio versus Toby Brown. Ms. Brown is present with her attorney, Mr. Smith, and the parties have asked for this matter to be recalled.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Wright has, we've spoke about this situation, and she would like a protection order. I understand that they reside at this residence together. She's got all her clothes and everything there, even her car, I believe. So I think we need to sort of make a decision on who's going to stay there and then issue a temporary protection order.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
Your Honor, that's correct. Now that they're wanting a protection order, so does my client, so I guess we'll have two protection orders. As far as the residence, I believe it's in both their names. And that's more of a, obviously, what they do with the house and everything else would be a civil issue, but as far as this is concerned, someone's got to be there, someone can't be. So I don't know.
Could always be, but neither of them could be there.
That's true.
We have
dogs.
So I guess the question would be for counsel on this is there somebody who's willing to go somewhere else for the time being, or has a place to go versus who doesn't, or I feel like I need a little more information here. Obviously, it appears that it's a...
Your Honor, my client would like to stay in the residence. That's her desire.
Okay. Does your client have somewhere else that she could go?
We both have somewhere else we could go.
I believe she does.
Ms. Brown says she pays the mortgage and majority of the bills, so I think
We split it.
it would be one of those. They both want to be in the house, so I don't know how we're going to resolve this without doing it by agreement. I think it's going to have to be a decision by the court.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recall this case here in a few minutes. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity for counsel to discuss this. And then we'll come back in and we'll make it our, if we can't come to some reasonable agreement between the parties, then At that point, then you can argue it to me on both sides and I'll make a decision. But I'm not entirely sure that I'm not just going to order both of them out. And order neither one of them to be there.
Understand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll recall these later in the docket.
State of Ohio versus Danny Sellers, case number CRB 24504. Mr. Steyer's case.
This is State of Ohio versus Danny Sellers, CRB 24504. Mr. Sellers is present with his attorney. Mr. Steyer states represented by Attorney Phillips.
Slow down. Well, this is a civil matter.
Okay, so this is for the same thing.
But it's a civil matter, it's a different case.
I don't have, so you're telling me I got more cases?
I'm telling you that a 24 DV 596 in the Court of Common Pleas is a separate case.
Okay,
than
but that's
our
all
criminal
thrown
case.
out, but it's from that, yeah.
Okay, well.
But I didn't get that till after.
Okay, well, let me take a look at
We're supposed to
this.
show up in court.
All right.
Well,
She went, she asked for a civil protection order and then didn't show up, so it got dismissed.
the victim is, I think, his mother, is that right?
Yeah, I think it is.
She is not able to come because she's not well, but she doesn't want a protection. So we'll start there.
And she called up here Monday and told Jasmine.
Yeah. It's his aunt. So, Your Honor, the alleged victim in this matter is a relative of Mr. Sellers, and she's unable to be here today.
It's his mom.
Huh?
His aunt can get us.
Oh, okay. It's his mother that's the alleged victim. And she's not able to be here because of illness, but she's indicated to us that she does not want a protection order. But she also, I believe, wants Mr. Sellers to get his vehicle and personal belongings, and the aunts can get those.
Those have been gathered since
I got it.
the last court date.
We don't know where we're going to want to end up in this case, but for now, it'd be good if there's peace between them, and that will help.
There's no protection order.
So are you asking to withdraw the protection order?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that'll be granted. The protection order will be withdrawn.
At this point then, the state's saying they don't know what they want to do as far as the case goes? Is that what I'm hearing? I mean,
Yeah, I'm not, I need to know a little bit more about what happened, and
If the state wants to move for a continuance, we wouldn't object to that.
well, I mean, the case just, this is the arraignment or the first?
This is this is a pretrial.
First pre-trial.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we can set it for trial if you want to.
That would be an option as well.
All right, the parties want to set for trial?
Prefer to just have a little bit of time to, I don't care, we got plenty of time.
That's between counsel.
Well, it's an
I
M4.
definitely have to do it.
It's an M4.
Make a job. I'll explain to you when we get outside.
So we don't have plenty of
I'll
time.
come out and talk to you, and we'll talk. So another pretrial is fine, Your Honor. Would the fourth work?
We're pretty heavy on the fourth, if we could go to.
Oh, I didn't realize, I'm not that bad on it, so I thought it was a decent day, so I apologize.
We could go to the 11th.
I'm available.
Okay. At the defendant's request, we'll continue this to October 11th for a pretrial at 10 a.m.
Don't leave, I'll come out and talk to you.
All right, see you back here. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Kiara Wilson, case number CRB 24556, Mr. Scott's case.
So the State of Ohio versus Kiara Wilson, CRB 24556. Ms. Wilson's present, her attorney, Mr. Scott, state represented by Mr. Heald.
Okay. Judge, I just got some, the proverbial Walmart security footage this morning. I would like to watch that. I think we've been able to reach an agreement, but I'd like to watch that and make sure I advise my client correctly.
When would you like to come back, Mr. Scott?
Judge, I'm looking at the morning of October 18th.
Okay. Matter will be set for pretrial, continue the defendant's request to October the 18th at 10 a.m.
We'll see how we go. Log in a second.
You are aware of the Morris County Jail.
All right. Next, we're going to go to the jail.
State of Ohio versus Derek Blankenship, case number CRA 24505, CRB 24506, CRB 26 or 24507.
Mr. Blankenship, can you hear me? Yes. All right. Mr. Blankenship, we're going to do an arraignment on you, so I'm going to go through your charges with you. You received copies of them. We're going to go through them, and then I'm going to ask you for a plea. You're going to enter a guilty plea, not guilty plea, or no contest if there's a misdemeanor charge. Guilty means you're admitting the allegations are true. Not guilty means you're denying the allegations. And no contest means you're not admitting the violations, but you're agreeing that if I think the court would have enough evidence, they can find you guilty. You're not contesting the facts surrounding it. So, Mr. Blankenship, this case is CRA 24505. Mr. Blankenship, it's alleged that on or about August 3rd in Fayette Township, you did knowingly create a substantial risk of serious physical harm to another. That would be Amber Hankins, a family or household member. The violation by means of strangulation or suffocation in violation of section 2903(18)(b)(3) of the Ohio Revised Code. Strangulation, that's a felony of the 4th degree. Felonies of the 4th degree carry a maximum penalty of 18 months in prison and up to a $5,000 fine. The next charge is case number CRE 24506. And Mr. Blankenship, it's alleged on or about August 3rd, 2024 in Fayette Township, you did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to Amber Hankins, a family or household member. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 291925A, domestic violence misdemeanor of the 1st degree. Misdemeanors of the 1st degree carry a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail and $1,000 fine. There's also case number CRB 24507, and in that case, Mr. Blankenship, it's alleged that on or about August 3rd in Fayette Township, that you violated that no person who is a parent, guardian, or custodian, person having custody or control, or person in loco parentis of a child under 18 years of age, or a child with a mental or physical disability under 21 years of age, shall create a substantial risk of health or safety of the child by violating the duty of care, protection, or support. It is not a violation of the duty of care, protection, or support under this division when the parent, guardian, custodian, or person having custody of the child treats the physical or mental illness or disability of the child by spiritual means through prayer alone. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 2919.22A, endangering children, misdemeanor of the 1st degree. Maximum penalty on that is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Mr. Blankenship, do you wish to be considered for court-appointed counsel?
Yeah.
Are you working?
Yeah, part-time, but Amber's right there, the person that this is against.
Well, hang on. She's in the courtroom and she's speaking with Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill, if he's got something to interject, we'll interject. We're doing the initial appearance on this at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not good.
So did you said you're working?
Yeah, part-time. I'm on bond over Western Regional. That's why I missed the court.
Well, hang on. Just answer the questions that I'm asking. Are you presently, or you're working part-time, are you paid hourly?
No.
Paid by the job?
Yeah.
What do you typically make a week?
Well, this week I made $200.
What's an average week for you?
I don't know, about $700 maybe, if I did a good week.
And you have dependents, correct?
Yeah, I got, 4.
I'll appoint Mr. Morford to represent you.
Judge, may Mr. Hill not approach?
You may. Mr. Morford, I don't need anything else, that's enough for me. I recall. No issue there, I'll put someone else.
Thank you, Judge.
No problem. All right, Mr. Blankenship, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So Mr. Morford's indicated he has a conflict, so I'm not going to appoint Mr. Morford. Is Mr. Scott still here?
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll appoint Attorney Jesse Scott to represent you in the matter. And Mr. Scott, or Mr. Hill, what's the state's position on bond?
Your Honor, the state will request a $2,500 cash or surety bond. I also have Ms. Hankins here, the alleged victim, and she does not want a protection order.
Okay. Right now, I'll set a bond of $2,500 cash or surety. Mr. Scott, once you've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Blankenship, if you want to recall on the matter of the bond, then we can reconsider it at that point. I understand you haven't had a chance to speak with him yet. Absolutely. And so,
I'll find out. It's good, I'll find out. Thank you.
well, you're probably also going to want to speak with your attorney. So if you're fine with the bond, he can not recall it. So, but for now, we're going to get all this stuff lined out. Hang on, we're not finished yet. You're not doing yourself any favors here. Just listen and answer the question that's being asked of you.
You said that I had a $2,500 bond.
I did, and I said your attorney is going to contact you. And if you bond out, if he can't reach you at the jail, is there a phone number that he can reach you at?
Yeah, 740-744-3689.
All right. The alleged victim in the case has not requested a protection order. And Mr. Scott, is there a good date that you would like to come back?
Preferably October 18th, Your Honor.
Well, that puts us, this is a preliminary hearing on this, so that puts us outside that time. I don't care to waive that, but the problem is if Mr. Blankenship doesn't bond out during that time frame, then he's just going to be...
Let's recall this and give you a chance to talk to him,
Okay.
get confirmation on that.
We'll recall this later in the docket. If you want to approach Mr. Scott, you can take the file, and that way you're familiar with the charges. And thank you. All right, Mr. Blankenship, Mr. Scott's going to contact you, and then we'll have you back out a little bit later in the docket. We'll pick a date for you to come back.
Okay, so I can bond out or you call me back up?
I'm going to call you and talk to you, okay?
And then we're going to call you back up.
All right.
State of Ohio versus Kayla N. Bowens, case number CRB 2416 at the Lawrence County Jail. And Bobby Joe Hoffman is on deck.
You missed Kayla Bones?
Yes,
Okay, can you hear me okay?
here.
Ms. Bones, did you receive a copy of your charges?
No, no, nothing.
Okay. Well, if someone at the jail can take a look and see if you have a copy of her charges.
A copy of her charges, a paper of it. I'm so sorry.
It's not, you haven't done anything, as far as causing the delay, you haven't done anything wrong, so nothing to apologize for.
No, I'm just, it's an embarrassment.
Well, I'm going to advise you not to say anything about your case until after we do the arraignment, okay? It's all being recorded, and anything that you say can be used against you if you make a statement against your interests. So I'm going to advise you not to say anything right now until we get through this portion of the hearing, okay?
Okay. Okay, I got it.
All right. Ms. Bones, on case number CRB 24610A, it's alleged that on or about September 20th in Fayette Township, you did recklessly or by force resist or interfere with the lawful arrest of yourself in violation of Ohio Revised Code 2921.33A. That's resisting arrest. That's a misdemeanor of the second degree. Maximum penalty for that is 90 days in jail and a $750 fine. On case number CRB 24610B, it's alleged that on or about September 20th, 24 in Fayette Township, you did recklessly cause inconvenience, annoyance, or alarm to another by engaging in fighting, in threatening harm to persons or property, or in violent or turbulent behavior. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 291711A1, disorderly conduct. That's a minor misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is a $150 fine and court costs.
Okay.
How do you wish to plead?
I'm guilty.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Guilty.
You're going to enter a guilty plea. That means you're admitting the allegations as charged. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to.
You can enter pleas of guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Guilty plea means you're admitting the charge, the allegations contained in the charge.
Let's do not guilty.
Okay. I will accept your not guilty plea.
What do I do to get out of jail?
Well, I can't. So do you wish to be considered for court-appointed counsel? Do you wish to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yeah, no. No, yeah.
That's,
I
so let me ask you this, are you working currently?
I'll get one. I'll get a lawyer.
You're going to hire your own attorney?
Yeah, I'll get one if needed.
Okay, I'll note that you're going to hire your own attorney. State, do you wish to be heard on the matter of bond?
The state would request a $2,500 cash assurance bond.
On an M2?
Well, Your Honor, here's, reading between the lines here, or maybe it's more than just in between the lines, it appears that there may have been substances or alcohol involved in this, and we will be concerned about her well-being. If she would be interested in being assessed for substance abuse treatment, then
I did agree, but I don't need substance abuse.
Hang on, Ms. Bones. Mr. Hill, is there a victim in this matter?
well, it's resisting arrest and disorderly conduct.
All right. I'm going to do a $1,000 OR bond in the matter. Ma'am, you'll be able to sign a bond, and that's going to allow you to be released today.
Okay.
How long do you think you'll need to hire an attorney?
Just a couple of days. I work.
Okay. We're going to come back on this on October the 11th. That'll be a pretrial at 10 o'clock a.m. So, ma'am, you'll be released today after you sign your bond. You'll need to appear here on October 11th at 10 a.m. Do you understand?
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry you all.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
State of Ohio versus Bobby Joe Hoffman at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 24609. And Chris Pelosi is on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Bobby Joe Hoffman, CRB 24609. Ms. Hoffman, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Have you received a copy of your charge?
Yes, I have.
All right. Ms. Hoffman, it's alleged that on or about September 19th, 2024, you did knowingly, in Fayette Township, you did knowingly obtain, possess, or use methamphetamine, Schedule II controlled substance. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 292511, AC1A, aggravated possession of drugs, felony of the 5th degree. Felonies of the 5th degree carry a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in prison and a $2,500 fine. Are you working currently?
I DoorDash.
Okay. How much do you make per week?
I make anywhere between $300 to $400 a week.
Okay, you're going to qualify for appointed counsel. I'll appoint Mr. Morford to represent you. Statements to be heard on bond.
Your Honor, given the allegations, we would want to encourage Ms. Hoffman to be assessed for substance abuse counseling, treatment, and so if she's willing to do that, we would recommend an OR bond.
Okay. Ms. Hoffman, did you hear what Mr. Hilden indicated?
Yes.
All right, are you willing to be assessed and follow up with treatment as recommended?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anybody that would like, here today that would like to assess Ms. Hoffman?
She's a former client of ours at Southern Hope, and we'd love to get the opportunity to work with her again.
Okay. Any problem with going back to Southern Hope?
Is my ex still in Southern Hope? Because I have a protection order against him.
That's a yes, so she can.
Okay. So you not going to be able to go back to Southern Hope. All right, Taylor. They're going to call down and do an assessment on you. I presume that we're going to kind of know where that's going to head, most likely, given the allegations. Mr. Morford, any issue with an OR bond with a treatment component?
No, Judge, but before you close the hearing, would you ask her if she has a cell phone number?
Yes.
Okay. What's that telephone number so that Mr. Morford can reach you once you're bonded out?
Okay, it's 220-240-1980.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Hoffman.
And Taylor, I'm sorry, it's slipping my mind. What agency are you with? Bethesda. I thought it was Bethesda. All right. Be $1,000 OR bond coupled with treatment at Bethesda. To be released only treatment with Bethesda. All right, now, Mr. Morford, is there a good date that you'd like to come back?
Judge, I'm pretty much free. I'm reaching the next few weeks.
You'd have to waive time on the preliminary hearing if you wanted to go outside of.
We'd waive time, Judge.
Okay. How about October 11th?
That's good, I'm here then.
All right. We'll be back October 11th, preliminary hearing at 10 a.m.
Here's the time waiver, Rich.
So, is she going to be inpatient treatment?
Well, only released, only treatment of the best.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Chris Losey. Case number CRA 24606, CRA 24302, CRB 24303, CRB 2921. Michael Martin is on deck.
This is State of Ohio versus Chris E. Losey. Mr. Losey, can you hear me? All right. Looks like there's a new charge in this. Mr. Steyer, I think you had his old case.
I have his most recent case prior to this. I don't know anything about the new charge.
Okay, I'll go ahead and arraign him on the new charge here. Mr. Losey, it's alleged that on or about September 16th, 2024, you did knowingly obtain or possess methamphetamine, Schedule II controlled substance, violation of Ohio Revised Code 292511 AC1A, possession of drugs, felony 5th degree. Maximum penalty up to 1 year in prison and a $2,500 fine. All right, Mr. Steyer, I'm going to find, since you were appointed his attorney on the other cases, that he qualifies. And I'll appoint you on the new case as well.
Your Honor, I've just spoken to Ms. Dement from OVP. OVP has accepted him as a client if the court will allow him out of jail to attend. I'm assuming from the fact that he's gone through that process that he's willing to go to OVP. So I'm going to ask that a bond be given that allows him to go to OVP, and if that were the case, I would anticipate that we would be willing to waive time constraints on the preliminary hearing to get it on a date that works for the court and gives him a chance to get settled in at OVP.
All right, Mr. Losey, any issue with going to treatment at OVP?
No.
Mr. Hill?
We're not opposed to that. I don't know if he has other things that are pending at this time before the court.
He does.
And what are those things? I don't remember.
There is at least, there's another, sir, let me be the one that speaks, it's a little better. There's a prior possession charge, and I think there may be some older charges than that I'm not certain if they're pending or if they're post-conviction. But there's a stack of files up there.
When were those scheduled to be back? Do you know?
I can look at that. He was last scheduled to be here in June 10th.
So there's nothing going forward.
June 10th was the last date he was scheduled to be here.
Okay.
I would anticipate that based upon what's being represented, and depending on the state would have a different recommendation on bond, that we would be setting all matters currently before court for a new date on one date.
Yeah, we're not opposed to that.
Okay. All right, I'll set bond at $1,000 OR, or that he only be released to treatment OVP. And Mr. Steyer, when would you like to come back?
On a date convenient to the court, as long as I don't have another hearing on that date, other than the 30th of September, I'm unavailable that day. And again, in exchange for the agreement for an OR bond, we will waive time constraints on the preliminary hearing, so we don't need to necessarily make it within 15 days unless the court's preference is to do so.
All right. Are you here October the 11th?
I am, yes.
All right, we'll come back October the 11th. I at least want to give you enough time to get to OVP and situated, so we're back October 11th for pre-trial. All matters currently pending before the court for preliminary hearing, before the court at 10 a.m. And I'll note the time waiver on the preliminary hearing.
Are you?
Yes, I believe so.
That, we anticipate you'll be picked up today.
All right, great, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Michael G. Martin, case number CRB 22-163, TRC 19, 4006 A and B. And Toby Pack is on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Michael G. Martin, CRB 24-163. This was Mr. And we've got TRC 19, 4006 A and B. And it's alleged that in both of these cases that Mr. Martin failed to appear for a review hearing on August 30th of 2024. Mr. Martin, do you admit or deny that you failed to appear for your review hearing?
I admit that
All right. I'll accept your admission. How many days have you been in jail?
5.
All right. I'll sentence you to 5 days in jail, give you credit for 5 days. And I'm going to set you a new review date. October 21st.
He's got to do 5 more days, 5 more days.
No, 5 days, credit 5 days. New review October 21st, 2024 at 9 a.m.
State of Ohio versus Toby Pack, case number CRA 24-326. Misty Shaver is on deck.
This is case number CRA 24-326. State of Ohio versus Toby Pack. Mr. Pack is present on Zoom. His attorney, Mr. Morford, is here in person today. And the state's represented by Mr. Hill, or will be once he gets back in the courtroom. All right, Mr. Gomes, this is State versus Toby Pack. And this matter is set for extradition today.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that the originals of all the documentation that would be required pursuant to a governor's warrant are part of the, or at least in the court's file at this point. And I believe that they are properly under seal, original signatures and whatnot. And that, given that, I believe that the matter of extradition is something that the court can go ahead and order at this time, and should. And I believe also that the only way that it would be subject to any sort of objection would be by filing a formal request for a writ, which has not been done.
Okay, have you provided any of the documentation, Mr. Morford?
I've not seen it, Judge. It's my understanding that the state needs to provide several items before he can be extradited. There needs to be allegation that he was present in the demanding state, Kentucky, I believe, at the time of the commission of offense. Thereafter, he fled from the offense, the state, excuse me. The demand also has to be accompanied by an indictment or by information supported by an affidavit from the state having jurisdiction of the crime, or by a copy of an affidavit made before a magistrate there, together with a copy of any warrant which was issued. Also have to have a copy of the judgment, conviction, or sentence imposed and execution thereof, with some other documents. Those documents have not been provided to me.
Your Honor,
I believe their request is deficient right now, Judge.
This is a matter of the documents that were received not by the prosecutor's office, but by the court. They're in the court's file. So it was not the duty or the responsibility of the prosecutor's office to provide them with those documents. If he needs time to review them, then I suppose they can ask for a continuance. But everything that he has stated is required is in those documents.
Mr. Morford, if you want to approach, I don't know what's in them. I've not looked through them, but this is what documents were in the file.
If you recall this, Judge, review it.
Yeah, here. I'm going to keep a file with it.
Yes.
You can let us know when you're ready to recall it. So we're going to recall your case a little later in the docket once your attorney has an opportunity to review the documents are sent.
I have a question, is that okay?
That will be up to your attorney, so you may want to wait and ask your attorney first.
I was just curious, how long did we let them hold the retainer?
Well, that portion's not before the court at this point, so you need to talk to your attorney about that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
State of Ohio versus Misty D. Shaver, case number TRC 173465, A, B, C, D, and E. Edward Turner II is on deck.
So State of Ohio versus Misty D. Shaver, TRC 173465. A, B, C, D, and E. Ms. Shaver is present via Zoom. And it looks like this was on a capias issued on 12/26 of 2017 for failure to appear. And Ms. Shaver, doesn't look like you've ever been arraigned on this.
No, sir. I was not in time to...
Well, hang on, let's do the arraignment, and there may be some things.
I apologize.
No, you're fine. Let's go ahead and get the arraignment done. All right, Ms. Shaver, it's alleged that on or about December 17th, 2017, in Fayette Township, that you were operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol or drug abuse. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4511-19A1A. Maximum penalty, misdemeanor of the first degree, maximum penalty up to 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, 3-year license suspension. Minimum penalty, either 3 days in jail or 3 days at a driver intervention program, $375 fine, and 1 year license suspension. So let's start with that, Ms. Shaver. How do you wish to plead? Oh, excuse me, there's some other charges here. Let's go ahead and take care of those as well. It's also alleged that on the same date and time that you violated Ohio's Assured Career Distance Ahead law, it's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4511.21A. That's a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty, $150 fine and court costs. It's alleged that you are operating a motor vehicle while under a suspended license for noncompliance. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4510.16A. That's a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty, $150 fine and court costs. It's also alleged that you had furnished false information to avoid a citation. It's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4513.361. Can you pull that up on the screen? It's the furnishing false information to avoid a citation. It's
This is this
173465.
Okay, which,
For falsification. That's a misdemeanor of the first degree, maximum penalty, 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. And that you violated Ohio's display of license plates law. That's a violation of Ohio Revised Code 4503.21. Keep going for that one. That's a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty, $150 fine and court costs. How do you wish to plead?
At this time, I plead not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay. Accept your not guilty plea.
At that time, I was under...
Well, hang on. Everything that you say here is being recorded. And so if you say something that would otherwise be detrimental to your case, it could be used against you. So for now, we're going to talk about potentially an attorney here in a few minutes, but for now, just answer the questions that I'm asking you.
Yes, sir.
So I'll accept your not guilty plea. Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
I've contacted an attorney already.
Okay, so you're going to hire your own?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll note that you're going to hire your own attorney. Mr. Hill, you wish to be heard on the matter of bond?
The state would ask for a $2,500 cash or surety bond, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Shaver, the state's asking for a $2,500 cash surety bond, and it appears that there was, that's likely, I presume, based upon the failure to appear.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that a bond that you can make?
Right now, no. I just moved up here at the time I was living out of state. I just provided a current address. I am working full-time now in Barbersville, West Virginia. There is no way I could possibly make that bond, but if I do not get released, I will lose my job.
You're likely looking at probably about $250 to a bondsman.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, yeah, I can only do 250 today. Yes, sir.
okay. I'll then set bond at $2,500 cash surety, and we will come back. I'm going to come back sooner on this one, given the age of the case. And
Now, will I be able to make a phone call?
that you would have to take up with them at the jail.
Okay.
We'll have Mr. Sowers reach out to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to come back on September 27th.
September
27th. For pretrial at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So if you're released, if you make your bond and you're released, you'll need to be back on the 27th at that time.
No.
And then if you need more time to hire your attorney, request more time at that time. Okay? All right, we'll see you back then on the 27th at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Edward Turner II, case number CRB 24587, and Derek Blankenship will be on deck.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Edward Turner II, CRB 24587. This was Mr. Steyer's case. Mr. Turner's present on Zoom, Mr. Steyer's in the courtroom, and the state is represented by Mr. Field. matter is set as a preliminary hearing today.
Your Honor, Mr. Turner is being held on a common pleas court bond. I don't know I think an OR bond was issued in this court. I'm not sure if Mr. Turner executed that or not. But he's obviously still in custody. I don't know what the state's pleasure is at this point. He's going to be back before Judge Ballard next week on an ILC violation that partially is based upon these charges. And I don't anticipate necessarily that he's going to be released from jail on that day, even if this charge is still pending here. I'm going to ask at that point to continue that matter, because obviously we don't want to make an admission in an ILC motion that affects a pending felony. So I don't know if the state wants to send this on to the common pleas court or wants to take some other action here.
Mr. Hill?
Well, there's a protection order in this case, and we don't want to lose that protection order. So if Mr. Turner wanted to waive to the grand jury, get everything together there, we would be okay with that.
Mr. Turner, are you willing to waive your right to preliminary hearing, waive your right to preliminary hearing, allow this to go on to the grand jury so that we can discuss this in front of Judge Ballard and deal with all your matters at once, or would you rather the case remain here and I guess we demand a preliminary hearing, but he's on bond, so we're not within the 10-day limit.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what the right way to go about this is.
If you would like some time to speak with Mr.
I can step out and call you.
Steyer, I can have him call you and recall us if you would like.
I really don't know what's
Okay. I don't believe I have anyone else at the jail, so if you're continuing with jail cases, I should have time to step out and talk to Mr. Turner. So I would ask that the jailers hold him out, and I'll step out and call him in just here in a couple seconds.
All right, this matter will be recalled later in the docket.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Derek Blankenship, case number CRA 24505, CRB 24506, CRB 24507.
Your Honor, I had a chance to speak to Mr. Blankenship. He is sure he'll be able to pay a $2,500 cash surety with the bail bondsman. He didn't have an objection to waiving time to get me here on the 15th of October.
On what date, sorry?
October 18th.
Okay. We'll set this for preliminary hearing and pre-trial, October 18th, 10 a.m. I'll note the time waiver on the preliminary hearing. And Mr. Blankenship, we'll see you on October the 18th.
All right.
Thank you.
We have two more cases to recall and detail, Your Honor, but we're not ready to do those just yet.
We can proceed.
State of Ohio recalls Derek Oxshire, case number CRB 2252A and B here at the court.
The State of Ohio versus Derek Oxshire, CRB 2252 A and B. Mr. Smith is present, and that's Mr. Oxshire, who's also present.
Yeah.
State's represented by Mr. Keel. This matter was set earlier for a bond forfeiture with Mr. Sowers, who had indicated that he believed Mr. Oxshire was on his way. We set a new date for that in case Mr. Oxshire did not appear here today, but he has now appeared on his own volition.
He probably still needs to go to treatment. He was at TCC and he was at Southern Hope before that. Well, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Case.
Are you in treatment anywhere?
You're on Suboxone now. With who? It's 2 years ago. I understand. And since I haven't done it, like my pay stubs. Okay. 9 days. It's only, it's not much, but it's enough.
He's on Suboxone. So,
I would say what we would agree to is 30 days in jail suspended and continue with whatever treatments already being done. And be on probation, just make sure you stay out of trouble.
you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have to enter a plea to that. That's fine. I believe we have it resolved. What the state has offered, and we would join in, is that for change of plea, the sentence we would ask for is a 30-day jail commitment, all suspended. Part of his probation is to continue with his treatment. I believe he is being treated with Suboxone and does have some kind of doctor that he sees. Of course, whatever costs and fines to be serviced, the court determines.
Okay, what plea is your client responding to?
He'll enter guilty.
To both charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, accept his guilty plea to both charges, enter a guilty finding on the, let's start with the B case. Let's start with the B case. All right, on the B case, 30 days in jail, all suspended. Hearing time. Be a $100 fine. Order to pay the court costs. Mr. Oxford, did you do any time in jail as a result of this?
Yes, sir.
You know how many days you did?
I think I did like 6 days in your jail.
Okay. Mr. Hill, any stipulations as to?
We would
jail time?
stipulate, yes, sir.
All right. I'll give him credit for the 6 days that he did. Be 2 years level 4 probation, and as part of that, he'll have to continue with his treatment. I'm not going to order any community service. I'm not. Okay, and on the A case, be 30 days jail, suspended. Credit for 6. We'll do a $20 fine, and won't be any community service. 2 years for probation, same as the other case, and all of this is to run concurrently with each other. The sentences are to be served concurrently. We will vacate the October 21st bond forfeiture date. Mr. Archer, you're going to need to see probation and the clerk for your leave.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Colby Brown, case number CRB 24612, and Victoria Wright, case number CRB 24611.
This is State of Ohio versus Victoria Wright, CRB 24611. Ms. Wright's present, and we're calling Attorney Sean Stratton from the courtroom. We also have State of Ohio versus Colby Brown, CRB 24612. zone. Ms. Brown is present for attorney Mr. Tyler Smith. We did an arraignment on this. We had a pretrial set. Originally, there was no protection order requested. The parties asked for it to be recalled on protection order, and wanted to give them an opportunity to speak further to see if there could be a resolution had. And now we are recalling the case. So, gentlemen, where are we?
Your Honor, it looks like we're just going to have to plead to the case, or to the court to make a determination of who's going to reside in the residence. There's no agreement that's been made. They are a married couple, so it looks like if any issues with the house after today will be dealt with in civil court, as explained before. So we'll just have to put forth an argument and let the court decide who will reside in the home while this case is pending.
Your Honor, may I be heard on that issue?
You may.
If they're married, then I think that it might be appropriate to let the domestic relations court make a decision about who gets use of the residence based on the equities involved. And I think that it's sufficient that there's a protection order, and they've got to stay away from each other. If that means neither of them being there, then that's what it has to be.
I was thinking the same thing, Mr. Hill, and so I'm not going to order either of you out of the house, and I'm not going to order either of you in the house. But the protection orders, since you guys have requested them, will both be granted. And so neither of you can be around the other or have contact with the other per your request. We'll allow the domestic relations court, if you guys file, to determine who's going to be able to be in the house, but neither of you are prohibited from being in the home at this time, other than to say that if somebody else is in the home and you go there, then you're probably both in violation.
Your Honor, I know that for my client, she needs her clothes. There's also, I believe, a car there that she needs for transportation. And she desires to go to do that, possibly even today, to get those items. So maybe the court can allow her to do that today.
Again, neither party is prohibited from going there, just as long as the other one isn't there. And basically the parties have kind of put me in this position where I don't have a lot of knowledge about what's going on. In the police report, all it says is, or in the criminal affidavit, that knowingly threaten or attempt to cause harm to the other. So I've got no facts as far as what's happened in this case. I don't see a way forward that I can order either of you out or both of you out, so I think we're just going to issue the protection order and trust that, adults can reasonably figure out that what's going on. So, if one of you there and then the other one comes, you're probably technically both in violation. So, I don't have any issue with people getting things. If you want to be safe, probably the safest thing to do would be to send someone to retrieve your property. And that'll be the order of the court until such time as it's brought back before the court where we can, have further discussion or evidentiary hearing or some idea as to what's actually happened. I mean, I can't determine culpability at this point, and I think that probably the more appropriate place, as Mr. Hill indicated, would be the domestic relations court to determine that through whatever filing, whether it be a divorce or whatever filing is made there.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, there's issue of protection order, and if you're in violation, then the state can bring back a violation, but this is kind of the position that we're now put in.
Do you want to speak outside?
Yeah, we can talk.
We'll talk outside.
No. And then, again, if you can work it out through your attorneys somehow, I've got no issue with that, but, until such time as either we have a trial or the parties come in and say, hey, we no longer want protection, or that's going to be the order of court.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Toby Pack at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRA 24-326, and Edward Turner II is on deck. Jail.
Yeah, let's do that.
State of Ohio versus Heather Fowler, case number TRD 24997 here at the court. Heather Fowler.
The State of Ohio versus Heather Fowler, TRD 24997. Heather Fowler. Ms. Fowler is not present, but I return Mr. Morford is present here today. And the state's represented by Mr. Hill. Mr. Morford. Mr. Morford.
Judge, I have no idea where Ms. Fowler might be.
All right. Well, Mr. Morford, it looks like she has missed several other hearings, so I'm going to go ahead and issue a bench warrant for failure. Bench warrant for failure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jared Stover, case numbers TRC 24674 A, B, and C, and TRC 24674 A, B, and C. That's the whole case.
Your Honor, my client's present. He must be in the restroom. I made a brief look outside.
He's coming in now.
Sorry.
That's no worries. This is the State of Ohio versus Jared Stover, TRC 24674 A, B, and C. Mr. Stover is present with his attorney, Mr. Eaches, state's represented by Mr. Heel, and we're set for a pretrial status conference.
Your Honor, Mr. Heald and I appeared on August 16th. We had an evidentiary suppression hearing in this case. At the conclusion, Judge Capper recognized that probable cause to arrest was an issue. He didn't indicate where he was leaning on that. I had requested time to order a transcript. The purpose of today's hearing was to check the status of that transcript and establish a briefing schedule going forward. After I paid the deposit for the transcript, I thought I ought to try to resolve the case. I reached out to Mr. Heald, made him an offer that was accepted. Pending approval of Your Honor, Mr. Stover be prepared to enter a guilty plea to a physical control. We would agree to withdraw his ALS appeal. We would also agree that he would attend the driver intervention program, Your Honor, and it makes no difference to me. I would defer to Mr. Heald as to whether we entered his guilty plea and made that a term of his probation or have him complete the driver's intervention and come back for the plea. It makes no difference to me, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, typically, Judge Capper would want them to go ahead and do the school prior to coming back. So, are you entering guilty pleas to all charges before the court? As far as with the amendment of the state.
That's fine, Your Honor. There's a failure to control along with the OVIs, maybe a seatbelt.
Okay.
That's fine. If the state wants convictions on all those, that's fine, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor. And he stated the agreement that we had correctly also.
So you're moving to amend the OVI to a physical control?
That's correct, Your Honor. And that's based on, really, we had the opportunity to see what the evidence was going to be in the hearing, and we feel this is the best resolution.
Okay.
Can we do that the day we sentence him, just put him down for sentencing today, or are you going to go over everything?
I would go ahead and amend it today, do the amendment today.
Okay, because it's a special form, we have, I mean, it's going to make it, because we have to do like, I said maybe do this, but I mean, that's.
Why don't we do this then? Let's just continue. Mr. Eaches, how long do you think it'll take your client to get that done?
Your Honor, I would not object to coming back in about 45 days. I may be quick, but in the event he's not completed at that point, I'm sure it would be scheduled and it would be very close in time. I think that's a reasonable, he intends to get right on it. We're going to stop by probation and get a list of available options, so I expect him to have it done very quickly.
What's your calendar look like in early November?
I'll make it work, Your Honor.
All right, how about let's do November 4th?
Fine, Your Honor.
And we'll do it as I'll note that there's likely going to be, that there could be a plea that day to the amended charge. Okay. All right. We'll come back at 10 a.m. on November 4th to kind of check in and see where you're at with school, whether it's scheduled, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And we need a time waiver on that, too.
That's fine. You want me to do it on the record?
I'm good right here. 674.
State of Ohio recalls Toby Pack to Lawrence County Jail. Edward Turner II. That's all.
All right, this is case number CRA 24326, State of Ohio versus Toby Pack. Mr. Pack is present via Zoom. Mr. Morford is present in court here on his behalf today, and the state's represented by Attorney Philip Keel. This matter is set as an extradition. We were last on record. Mr. Hill indicated there was paperwork that was sent, it appears, to the court, and Mr. Hill needed an opportunity to be able to review that paperwork. Mr. Hill, have you had an opportunity to review the paperwork that was sent?
Judge, I've reviewed the paperwork. It appears that all the allegations that are required to be made of the state of Kentucky and the state of Ohio are in there, along with the appropriate attachments that are required by the statute in Ohio. We agree that it appears all of the documents supporting exhibits would support a finding of extradition to Kentucky.
All right. Based upon that and the paperwork that was provided that Mr. Hill had requested be admitted earlier, I will admit that, find that extradition is appropriate, and I will order Mr. Pack to be extradited to Kentucky, and I'm going to give them a little bit longer than I normally would in this instance, though I would anticipate that it won't be that long.
Your Honor, that paperwork actually indicates the individuals in law enforcement officers in Boyd County that are to be notified when he's available, so hopefully it won't take very long.
Yeah, they've designated two law enforcement agents to pick him up.
All right. I'm going to put it on, just so we don't lose track of it, on the 30th to see if Mr. Pack has been picked up by that time. If he is, this matter at that point will conclude our matter here. And if he's not, then I'll have the jail have him appear, and then we'll see if there's a good reason that more time would be required, or if Mr. Pack should otherwise be released at that.
But what was the date, Judge?
September 30th.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Pack.
State of Ohio versus Edward Turner II in Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 24587.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Edward Turner II, CRB 24587. Mr. Turner is present.
Your Honor,
Mr. Steyer is present in court for
Your Honor, Mr. Turner's brother, Gary Turner, the alleged victim in this case, is present in the courthouse. I think he's just out in the lobby right now. See if we could bring him in.
Is there Gary Turner?
I have discussed the matter with both Messrs. Turner, and so I have a sort of a suggestion of a path forward that I'm going to lay out for the court and for Mr. Heald, which would be to continue to waive time constraints here on this matter, to allow it to pend for a little while. That would keep the protective order in place, which Gary Turner would like to have. I believe it is likely that the minimum that's going to happen in the ILC matter with Mr. Turner is going to be imposition of a term at Star. What Mr. Gary Turner is interested in for Mr. Edward Turner is some treatment and maybe some behavior modification, which I think Star would perhaps accomplish. I don't think I'm speaking out of school when I say that if this case goes on to the grand jury and lands in front of Judge Ballard as an F4 domestic violence, there's a pretty good chance we're going to land, that Mr. Turner's going to land in prison if there's a conviction on that. That's something we want to avoid and that Mr. Gary Turner is not necessarily looking for. So what I'm hoping we can do is to waive time constraints on this, set it back in a couple weeks or even next week. I'm going to get Mr. Turner back in front of Judge Ballard on the 25th. My goal at that point, I believe it's likely that the state could prove an ILC violation completely independent of this charge. So if we can work that out, and that results in a term at Star or even some sort of rehab situation, where I think Star is probably, again, I think that's probably the best he could hope for under the circumstances, that might satisfy, that if he's successful in that and this continues to pend with time waivers, that we might down the road get to a point where Mr. Gary Turner would be agreeable to suggest to the state that we do something to wrap this case up here so that we don't end up with Mr. Edward Turner facing prison, but we do see some treatment and some things that can change the problems that have been allegedly going on in the family. So what I'm going to propose is that we, at least for now, waive time constraints and come back in about a week or so, the day that's convenient to the court, and see where things land in the case before Judge Ballard, and then reconsider what we're going to do long-term here.
Mr. Heald?
All right, so in speaking with Mr. Gary Turner, he's the alleged victim in this matter. We're okay with doing that. It does not mean that we're going to end up just dismissing the charge in the end, but he needs to be successful. If he goes to Star, maybe they won't send him to Star.
That may not be what happens. That's why I'm not saying let's stick it out 4 months or something. I'm saying come back in a week or so with a better plan for what's going on. And I'm going to say to Mr. Edward Turner right here, there's no guarantee in any of this. This is just a path forward that I'm proposing. And if we can make this work between the two, we got two courts, we've got a victim, we got two different prosecutors, we got a lot of moving parts here. But if I can make this work, we may have a path that results in ultimately in a good result for you. And I think it's worth staying on that path for a little bit longer. And with that in mind, we're willing to waive time constraints, at least for a week or two, to regroup and figure out where we are.
Mr. Heald?
We'll be okay with that. We hope it does well. I mean, we'll just see where things go from here.
Right. We're not asking for the guarantee at this point. We're just asking for a shot.
All right. This matter will be continued then until September 30th.
Can we do a day other than the 30th, Your Honor? I'm available the days. I'm here the 27th and I'm here the 4th.
We can do the 27th.
All right.
We continue to September 27th for preliminary hearing on the time waiver for continuance for the record. And we'll have more information as to what's going to happen in the common police court when we come back.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Steyer. Thank you, Mr. Turner. Thank you, Mr. Heald.
Thank you, Rob.
We're finished.
All right, we're now finished at the jail.
State of Ohio versus Kristen Baker, case number CRB 24555.
All right, this is State of Ohio versus Kristen R. Baker, CRB 24555. Ms. Baker is present here with her attorney, Mr. Net. State's represented by attorney Philip Hill. This matter was set for a pretrial today.
Yes, Your Honor, just for the record, Ms. Baker has attorneys in Catlettsburg, Kentucky. They contacted me and asked me to stand in today. They had worked out, I believe, a previous deal with the state in reference to Ms. Baker, and she would enter a plea of no contest with stipulation of facts sufficient for a finding of guilt and receive the treatment thereof. She has already submitted herself to a drug screen, and I believe this has been in the court's records right now.
I have that screen. There was one positive, and it was for THC. So.
Yes.
All right, so I'll accept your client's no contest plea or guilty finding. Mr. Hill, is there anything you wish to add?
No, Your Honor, this doesn't appear to be aggravated in any way whatsoever. We would not be opposed to a suspended jail sentence and some community service and a small fine.
Okay. Ms. Baker, anything you wish to say?
No, Your Honor.
All right. There will be 10-day jail sentence ordered. I will suspend the 10 days. Be to 30 hours community service, 2 years level 4 probation. There'll be a fine in the amount of $100. I will be paying full costs.
Go to Walmart.
And as a condition of that, while you're on probation, you're going to have to stay out of all Walmarts.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to give you a review hearing. I'm going to set your review hearing for March 21st of 2025 for review at 9 a.m. If you have everything done, then you don't need to appear back. So before you leave, you're going to need to see probation, which is out to the left, and the clerk, which is out to the right. All right. Thank you, Ms. Baker.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Emily A. Smith, case number CRB 23627.
So, Your Honor, Emily was released here recently to Eagle Creek in Owington, Kentucky. I know that you as Judge Cremines have not been part of those conversations, but the prosecutor and the judge and I have been receiving and sending quite a few emails about that. So, and I hear she's doing well there. So, an inpatient treatment facility. So I just asked that maybe we set this off and maybe a day that Judge Capper is here, because I know he has a big interest in this case. So,
all right. Are you here, or can you be here October the 7th? I don't want to go too far out with this one.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably reasonable. We're getting pretty loaded up on the floor.
October 7th is fine, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant's request. We'll come back October 7th for a pretrial at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Now, Your Honor, it was my understanding that she had previously entered a guilty plea on the theft charge from Walmart and disorderly conduct.
This is complicit in this.
Oh, this is a separate.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Your Honor, we'll address that at the next hearing.
Okay. All right. We'll be back October 7th, 2024, 10 a.m.
All right. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Freddie Atkins, CRB 23631.
Your Honor, I believe Freddie, Mr. Atkins had paid everything today?
No, I wouldn't be a payment, it wouldn't let me.
I'm just gonna make a payment of $100 today. I just started a new job and they held my check for a month.
What's the total owed on this case?
60 something.
How much you gonna pay today?
$100. I'll for the next one for sure. I just started a new job, I'm check for a month.
On the 23,631, $255. And then we've got a 23,437, $437.
Yeah, I'll check those.
That one goes 130.
All right. And on 23,437, it's $130.
So, Your Honor, he's going to pay $100 today. The agreement was when this is paid that the case will be dismissed, both of them. So I just asked that we set this out. When do you?
Give me 2 weeks.
2 weeks, sometime in October, Your Honor. And
Let's give him a little more time than that. How about we go out to October 25th?
All right. And Your Honor, if he has that paid, does he need to appear?
No, if everything is paid, he will not be required to appear.
All right.
It's sentencing at 10 a.m.
State of Ohio versus Michael Tilby Jr., case number CRB 24437.
State of Ohio versus Michael Tilly Jr., CRB 24437. Mr. Tilly's present, his attorney, Mr. Stroud.
Did you get your assessment done at Bethesda?
Pretty full appeal.
Do we have a letter from
He's not going through Bethesda. He's continuing through Mahajans because they told him at Bethesda he didn't qualify for services.
Okay. Do we have a letter from Mahajan?
I can call over there real quick and see if they can.
Your Honor, let's just set it for the 7th, that way we can get a letter from Mahajan. I'll be sure to talk to him about it. Okay, yes.
Mr. Hill, any objection to that?
No.
October 7th.
Let's get,
at 10
just have a
a.m.
letter. Okay.
State of Ohio versus Brian L. Clay, case number CRB 24560. Brian Clay.
The State of Ohio versus Brian Clay, CRB 24560. Mr. Smith's case. Mr. Smith is present. Brian Clay. His client has not appeared at the present at this time. And the state is represented by Mr. Hill.
Is there anybody here from Restoring Hope Recovery Care? That's who he's with last time.
I've got a note that that's who he's with, but I've not seen any, I don't have any updates in the file or any letters.
Yeah.
How he's doing with it.
They advised that they were going to update every week last time we were here, but I don't know if he's even there anymore, so that could be a possibility. I would just ask, we give him 7 days before the warrant's issued to try to find out if he's there.
I didn't have a file this month.
And plus, I did receive a DVD today, part of Discovery, so I would have to ask for continued seamless if he was here.
I'll note that he failed to appear for his hearing. It's now 12:50. He was scheduled in by 10 a.m. There'll be a bench warrant issue in 7 days.
All right, thank you. I'll try to contact Restoring Hope, see if they know anything about his whereabouts. Hopefully, he's still there. They just didn't know about today's date.
Sure, which happens.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Leonard E. Johnson Jr., case number CRB 23401, CRA 22276, CRB 22278, CRB 17126.
So the State of Ohio versus Leonard E. Johnson Jr., CRB 23401, CRA 276, CRB 278, CRB 17126. And here it's 17,550. You may. Mr. Johnson's present, with his attorney, Mr. Smith, state's represented by Mr. Hill.
Your Honor, I also have a certificate of graduation from OVP. Looks like on the 11th of September, so.
All right, well, good report as well. Nice job completing. As far as that goes.
Oh, I feel great.
Good. Very good.
A lot of different changes. Good changes.
Happy to hear that, Mr. Johnson, because I've seen both the best and the worst of you at times.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm glad to see you doing that. So, gentlemen, where do we go from here?
Your Honor, please, the court generally, after a person finishes their, I guess that's a residential program he's been in, or not?
Yes, he completed there and he's continuing services with our outpatient office in Huntington.
So we want to follow that a little bit longer. Also, we have one of the charges is a domestic violence charge, a fourth-degree misdemeanor charge. And now, the alleged victim, Ms. Johnson, came before the court back in August and asked to dismiss the protection order, which I believe was done at that time. But we haven't made a final decision as to how we want to deal with that charge. But we are encouraged with his progress in this.
All right, so how far out do you want to go? Another month?
It'll be fine with us.
That's fine, Your Honor.
October 25th.
10 a.m.?
10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're doing well, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you.
And I'm preparing a time waiver.
Yeah, I'll sign it.
State of Ohio versus Amber Billups, case number CRA 24496, A and B.
The State of Ohio versus Amber Billups, CRA 24496, A and B. Ms. Billups is present, and her attorney, Mr. Morford, is here in the courtroom with her. State's represented by Mr. Hill. Mr. Morford, this is Amber Billups.
Yeah, she's on there. Two sevens.
All right, Ms. Billups, it's a good report. Looks like you're just kind of getting started on the program. It's been a couple of weeks, so.
She's been with us for a little while now. The reason we sent her back to Bridges was she had some medical concerns that we had to address.
Okay,
So she's just now getting back to 2-5.
Okay, that makes sense. I saw the date was 9/3, and that's what what happened that long.
Yeah, she's been with us for a little while now.
I've been since the 12th of August.
Mr. Morgan?
Judge, we'd like to continue. She's making progress.
Yes.
We don't want to interrupt it.
All right, how's October 25th? I think you're already here, Mr. Morgan.
afraid, Judge.
Come back October 25th at 10 a.m. Keep doing what you're doing, folks. You're doing well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
And we have a time waiver on this one.
State of Ohio versus Barbara E. Greathouse, case number CRA 24561.
The State of Ohio versus Barbara E. Greathouse, CRA 24561.
Your Honor, Taylor stepped out for a second.
Okay. You want to just hang tight real quick?
I'll stay in the courtroom.
Probably 5 minutes, so.
State of Ohio versus Precious Marie Smith, case number CRA 24441A and B, TRD 241476. Precious Smith.
So State of Ohio versus Precious Smith, CRA 24441, TRD 241476. Mr. Steyer's case, and I don't see Ms. Smith present.
Your Honor, if may it please the court, Ms. Smith contacted me this morning by phone stating that she has COVID. To her credit, she did sound ill. I told her I would seek a continuance. If one is granted, let her know what the date is. If one was not granted, I'd suggest that she make it in here within a week to avoid a warrant and bring proof of her illness.
Well, based upon the report that I just received from OVP, it sounded like she wasn't compliant and left treatment, AMA, medical advice, and then I've had no contact further. So I'm going to go ahead and issue a bench warrant for failure to appear.
Thank you.
The hope would be, Mr. Steyer, that she will present herself quickly, but
If you're able to get a hold of her, tell her she can call me.
Does she have your contact information?
State of Ohio versus Howard Thornton, case number TRC 24530, A, B, and C.
Okay, thank you.
to the State of Ohio versus Howard Thornton, TRC 24530, A, B, and C. Mr. Thornton is present, and attorney Mr. Steyer. State represented by Attorney Phillips. Excellent report, Mr. Thornton.
He's done very well, Your Honor.
Excellent report.
Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, this is one that I believe this is set for sentencing. Mr. Thornton has pled to an OVI. This was one where there was potential that it could have been a higher count, but due to some issues with the alleged priors, we ended up making an agreement to treat it as a first if he did well in treatment, and he's continuing on. We can either wrap this up today or continue on at the court's discretion.
I'd like to give it just a little bit more time on this. We'll come back October 25th if you're available, Mr. Steyer.
I believe I am. Yes, I'm actually on the docket.
October 25th, 10 a.m., we'll be back, and maybe a possibility we never wrap it up that day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Thornton.
Good job.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Great work. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Brent Helmer, case number CRB 22450, A, B, and C. Brent Helmer.
And Your Honor, my name is on the docket with this case, but I think this is a post-conviction matter and I've not been reappointed to.
It's the State of Ohio versus Brent Helfrey, CRB 24450, A, B, and C. Brent Helfrey.
He's not here now.
You got it. Mr. Helfrey has been called for and has not appeared. He is non-compliant with his treatment and has not been there since August the 2nd. So there will be a bench warrant. Doesn't look like it. Be a bench warrant for failure to appear issued immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Brian E. Tomlin, case number CRB 24327, CRB 17984. Brian Tomlin.
State of Ohio versus Brian Tomlin, CRB 24327, CRB 17984. Brian Tomlin. Mr. Tomlin was cited in for sentencing today and has failed to appear. There'll be a bench warrant issued.
State of Ohio versus T.J. Jenkins Jr., case number CRB 24574.
This is State of Ohio versus T.J. Jenkins Jr., CRB 24574. This matter was set for sentencing today at 10 a.m.
Your Honor, we have proof here that Mr. Jenkins has gotten a valid fishing license. So we would ask the court to take that into consideration.
Okay. Well, here's what I'll do then. You said you indicated there was proof that he got his license.
Yes.
All right. You got your license. I'll go ahead and dismiss the case.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Barbara E. Greathouse, case number CRA 24561.
State of Ohio versus Barbara Greathouse, CRA 24561. Recall, Mr. Scott's present, Ms. Greathouse is present, the state's representative.
As we're set for a prelim on this, I spoke with Taylor. She's indicated that she's compliant and doing well with Bethesda. So the question becomes what we want to do with her. Of course, our preference would keep the case here, monitor her in treatment, keep her an outpatient, or inpatient, excuse me. Then once she successfully completes, potentially get rid of the case here, and she would transition to outpatient.
We don't oppose that at all. We're encouraged by her progress so far. So, okay. We'll need a time waiver.
Sure. Come back on October 18th. It's about 30 days out.
That'll be fine. Come back on October 18th for a preliminary hearing. I'll note that time's been waived by the defendant. And we'll see you back October 18th at 10 a.m. and good report. Keep it up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that was the last case. Court's adjourned.
It's my first time being here this late. It's kind of cool.